Hello, you guys. How is everybody doing on today? I hope you guys doing okay. Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe, okay? Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. I see one person. I wanted to talk about some other, also add other things, but I didn't have enough room to be creative with it. Hey, Maddie Stone. Hey, Tyranny. Hold on, you guys. Hey, it's all in the making. My grandson hogging my other phone. Oh, hey, Shan. Hey, positive vibes. Oh, 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 y'all. This pollen in the air is starting to get the best of me. I am allergic to pollen, nose and stuff itching, all of that craziness. Y'all hit the like button for me, okay? Make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. I want to talk about the downward spiral of the industry. I want to talk about Hoover being pardoned. And then I wanted to talk about some more stuff. Some stuff that's going on in Memphis. I wish I could have I needed to add that. But I'm just, hey, Big Mo, you doing okay? I hope everybody is doing okay. I hope everybody doing good. See who this is. Texted me. Hold on, let me see something. Um, y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe, okay? Oh, put my back itching me. Hold on, you guys. Let me see something. Hold on, you all. More people would start to come in. But I want to talk about what's up, the site dog. I want to talk about hey, Gray Face. Don't matter if Diddy found guilty, Trump will pardon him one. You know what, Great Face? I don't know if Trump messed with Diddy. I'm gonna tell you something, Great Face. I kind of believe Trump might be behind some of this stuff. Because remember, Diddy and them turned their back on Trump for, hey Jay, they turned their back on Trump for Biden. Remember, they turned their back on Trump for Biden. They was telling, the celebrities, a lot of celebrities he said that he helped, they turned their, he says that they betrayed him, and they quietly came to him for loans and startup money and stuff, for funding on certain things. So Trump is very vindictive. I know they say it's the alcohol people or whatever, the liquor company or whatever, but shoot, I just, we already know a lot of celebrities had turned on him. Anyways, you guys, I want to talk about P. Diddy is just the beginning of the downward spiral in the music industry. I want to kind of come from that aspect of it, talk about Larry Hoover, and then talk about some things that's going on in the Memphis area. And I will talk about that last. Positive Vibe says Trump said he isn't going to pardon. Diddy and them was out campaigning for Biden. Remember they was telling people not to vote for Trump, that when he lost, he was really mad at them. Yeah, they all did campaigns for Biden and all of that. But anyways, you guys, as I said, this P. Diddy is just the beginning of the downward spiral for the music industry. We've been, for years, they've made it like glitz and glamour, right? And I think about going way back to like River Phoenix, and I think about him because I love Stand By Me. Okay, I love the movie Stand By Me. Right, Vote or Die campaign. Yep. And a lot of these entertainers and stuff was on drugs. Now I can remember, y'all, I be having so much stuff going through my head, child. I have so much stuff, but when I think of stuff, I have to talk about it. I know you all remember the movie. I think it was called Poltergeist. Poltergeist. Remember this? To Come to the Light, Carol Ann. Y'all remember the original Carol Ann? Okay. Of course, I was looking at some stuff one day and I came across this article, and they said that the little Carol Ann in real life, it was very vague, right? She supposedly had passed away from way like in the early 90s, late 80s or whatever, from like pneumonia or something like that. Well, I was reading this article because, back then, because the industry was so protected of, their devilish stuff, social media was limited. The TV media could be bought off. And they pretty much blacked out what they didn't want you to know. So a lot of the things that we're privy to today, we were not privy to back then. So they had to put it in articles, little articles and stuff. And even then, the internet was not that popular, right? In the late 80s, early 90s, it was not really that popular like that. People didn't have that in their homes. And so little articles like that kind of went unnoticed. But I ended up finding this real old article where they was talking about the mysteriousness of her death. And they had said that they told the world that she had passed away from pneumonia. But they're saying actually the young lady went to a casting call, and all of these Hollywood directors were there. I believe it. All of this stuff that's coming out, I ran across that sometime back, and I believe it to this day. And when she went to the casting call, they said every time that child went to a casting call, her parents would drop her off. They said parents blindly, just kind of turn the blind eye to what a lot of these directors were doing to children. We know that, as Corey Feldman says, The number one problem in Hollywood is and always will be is pedophilia of these directors and actors, right? They like to mess with children. And so they dropped little Carol Ann off, and whatever was supposed to, she, it was not a casting thing. They said what they did to that child in their ritual, they said this time they used objects and everything on that child as it relates to sexual rituals, and it went too far and the child went into shock and she ended up dying. They said quietly Carol Ann's family got about $2 million. They gave her about $2 million, gave her parents about $2 million or something like that to keep it hush. But I believe that those directors did that to that baby. Okay. So now we're starting to see, like, it seems like, because there are so many, good actors and actresses and singers, and it just seems like the people that's really got the voice, right? A lot of them are overlooked. That's really got the talent as far as rapping and all of that. They got overlooked. But a lot of it is because, and we weren't privy to that information until now, because a lot of people are not willing to sell their souls, right? They weren't willing to sell their souls. Unfortunately, so many people, right, have basically sacrificed their children for the money, for the come up. And that's why, as we saw like childhood stars or whatever, as we saw them grow up on TV, when they got a little bit older, they would get on drugs and things of that nature. That is because all of this stuff was privy to them. And then a lot of them medicated themselves because of what they had gone through early on as a child, right? So it just seems like Diddy came in during that time where the industry was still being protected, right? um we saw that they, during that time, that a lot of black Hollywood stars was not in. Okay, they were not in. We had Diane Carroll, we had, these were classy women, we had a lot of those women. Okay, well, a few of those women, just a few black faces, and we was happy to see those black faces. Well, probably around, like, we started to see uh Diddy really did. He was one of the ones that really magnified glamour, the glitz and glamour. I think around that era, around 1994, 5, something like that, in the industry. Okay. Especially like on a national level, he was one of the ones. And I think the elite saw, that they could start to use Diddy to usher in so much more, right? So then he was one of the ones to help to usher in that era of the hood, he was just one of the ones, right? Hood rats. I think Diddy was given the agenda to try and annihilate men, especially black men. I think they wanted to work on the African Americans. Okay. And look at what has happened to our race. Diddy is one of the ones that single-handedly started talking about that, and I don't mean no harm. Shout out, I think all women are beautiful. Okay. But Diddy was the one that started really ushering in that, started that phase. Okay, that Latino women were the exotic women, right? Latino women were the exotic ones when black women have always been the exotic ones. Okay. And I really, I always told you I don't give a damn about Diddy. I don't care what they do to him. I think he evil. He could kiss my ass and all that good stuff. But I think about, because one of the people that I really have such a fascination with, which is really weird, because I've gone to a restaurant in New York, and I want to go to a chateau in Paris. I read all her books, all her documentaries, and that is Josephine Baker. And I really think that, black women don't know how beautiful they are, right? Um, because of what has been put into the media, and it's a darn shame that they use a damn cuckabug head. These cuckabug heads will project self-hate and help them to project what beauty is supposed to be. Okay. Yeah, Latino women are beautiful, but black women have always been the exotic, the true exotic ones because of their skin tone, right? So I think about Josephine Baker, and Josephine Baker was able to go over to Paris in the 1920s, and according to what I read, they said that because of her bronze, beautiful skin and the way that she could dance and move, they had never really seen a woman like her. You know, they was just totally fascinated with the tone of the goldenness, the tone of her skin. Okay. And she was beautiful. They said it was later on that she developed this self hate where she started trying to bleach her skin when it was her dark skin, her medium brown skin is what had drawn people to her, what had made her famous when she first got over there to Paris in the 1920s, right? And so they talked about her exoticness. Black women have always been considered the exotic ones. And I'm not trying to take anything from anybody. I can add Latino women into that because Latino women are mixed with a lot of African American. That's why they got the hips. They have ancestors. Their ancestors come from slaves. Okay, they don't want to be, in which, you know, I don't try to, we don't care, you know, we don't try to, I don't want nobody to be a part of something that they don't want to be a part of, you know, just like the Italians. Okay. There was a slave port in Italy, so it is a lot of beautiful people that come from slaves. Okay, and so you've seen a lot of these black people that have gotten on TV because of the agenda. Okay, exert and project self-hate. Okay, white women are beautiful too. Okay, white women are beautiful too. Okay, and so now, and so Diddy was one of those ones that helped to, I think, destroy. They used him. They gave him an agenda, and because he wanted the money and the fame, he gladly took it. I just feel like there, it should be something. There ought to be something that you just won't do. There ought to be something that you won't do. And so it's unfortunate that people, a lot of people have made money their God. They will do anything. They have no stop about it. I want some fame. I want some money. Okay. And they'll go about doing anything to include kill and destroy to get it. And we see that he did that. And there are other people that do it too. And so, you know, now we're starting to see, because if they'll get Diddy, and he was one of them, right? He was one of them. If they will start to take him down, we already see there was a time when with Jay-Z that no negative media could touch him. There was a time that they would have protected Jay-Z so much, no lawyer would have dared to ever go up against him. And if they did, it would have been out of the media. Nobody would have talked about it, right? But one thing that I've noticed is when they start to they get ready to turn on you, they start allowing negative publicity and stuff to start getting out about you. We see what they started doing as it relates to Diddy. A lot of these popular vlogs and stuff with all of these viewers started talking about Diddy. We should have known then. That's the sign right there, right? And so now I always feel like, you know, some things, sometimes things have to be torn down because there's so many people that want their opportunity in Hollywood. Okay. They do. They want their opportunity. They've got the talent. They was born with the talent. Hey, Diane. Okay, but they're not willing to sell their soul. They're not willing to do freak off parties. They're not willing to go drink blood. They're not willing to make out with children. They're not willing to do a lot of the sacrifices that these people do for this fame and stuff. And I believe that our God, the higher power, is tearing it down to the ground. Hell, I believe when it's all said and done, okay, that just like, unfortunately, I hate those wildfires. They don't even talk about the wildfires no more that burned down all those houses in Hollywood. That's weird within itself. Y'all see how the media, when the main media stop talking about it, they just black it out, and people they got, see, they call programs for a reason, because they program our minds, right? You don't hear CNN and none of the rest of them talking about those wildfires. And just like robots, people don't talk about them no more. They're on to the next thing. Now they're talking about Diddy. You know, the thing that gets me, I always talk about this though, about black people though. Diddy did all this damage, and for some reason, we want to call him a success. This man that came up off of using and abusing nothing but black people, leaving them broke, busted, and disgusted. That is the agenda that the elites gave him. Okay. And somehow we want to give him a lifeline. I don't give a damn about Diddy. Okay. Now they talk about R. Kelly. I don't mean no harm, but I might, R. Kelly needs some help. And so the only issue I have with that is, yes, R. Kelly was wrong because he likes children. But if you ask me as a woman, this is how I feel. Now, R. Kelly was wrong for messing with Aaliyah, because Aaliyah was underage. But a lot of those other kids, a lot of those other girls that claim R. Kelly, was messing with them, I think R. Kelly was just irresponsible. He was messing with them. He probably didn't even know their age, because we see now a lot of these girls, but especially back then, didn't have no issues with lying about their age. And a lot of those that was in that studio, there had long been rumors out about R. Kelly. I think their parents need to be in a cell right next to him, because they kind of sold their children to him. They already knew what he was up to. I'm like Master P now. First of all, my kids never would have been up in there. And you already know what the rumors are as it relates to this man and his fetishes and his sickness, right? And then they want to go and stand out in front of the building talking about, I want my child, when you sent your child up in there hoping that he would make your child famous by any means necessary. You didn't give a damn about him being a grown man, probably wishing he had chose up on your child, hoping to get some more favor for your child so that they can bring them back some money. Okay. So we got to call it out too. But Diddy has been, and R. Kelly is too. I'm sure if they sitting up in R. Kelly house eating shit and all that, if you'll eat shit, you'll eat it, you'll do it. They was doing the same things. They sick. But R. Kelly ain't had no control over nobody's damn career, because he didn't have no control over his own damn career, because he couldn't read and write. Okay? So Diddy has done a lot of evil things to people. Okay? And if you ask me, they say he sits in that courtroom and stare people down as if I get out this shit, I'm gonna get your ass. And from the jail cell, he's still doing stuff with the little, but that's probably why they're trying to freeze his money. Okay. So now I don't give a damn about Diddy. He's evil. They allowed him, the people with the real money, gave him the power to do whatever he wanted to do to people within his community. That's what black people seem to be forgetting. Diddy couldn't go outside of his community. You see, the moment he thought that he was going to pull something on, do them out in another community, what he was doing to his community for over 30 years, they gave his ass that nigga call and they got his ass in jail. And now black folks, they trying to do something to a black man. Fuck him. Excuse my French, that I didn't mean to say it. Like, it just slipped out. I promise to God, I didn't mean to say it. It really did slip. I promise to God. Lord, forgive me for that. We've been praying today, y'all. Okay. What's up, OG Snake Spotter? See, y'all, I don't know who blocked my boo, but don't block him no more. Okay. And I don't believe that it was none of my moderators either. Let me just say this. I believe it's the hackers. Don't block my boo. Okay. That's my boo. He stays on the first page. Okay. Hey, Gerald. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, darling. I appreciate that, because that just slipped out. Okay. What's up, the realty? Me too. I was like, when he was like, they blocked me off your page, I was like, I don't see how he blocked off the page. because when he was coming in, I didn't know he was on the second page. It just so happened that I was going through my block list. I was like, this person blocked that person. I didn't know a lot of these damn folks was blocked. And at the very end, because I blocks a lot of folks too, okay? But I wouldn't dare block, the people that be in here regularly. Cause some, like if I was a real big blocker, I would have unblocked exposing the truth, but I ain't even blocked him. So y'all see y'all see I'm not a real big, you know what I mean? Why she gonna come out the bushes, okay? So I definitely would never have blocked um OG Snake Spotter, okay? Because OG Snake Spotter, I saw OG. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I was in Double Tap bushes a long time ago, and y'all know Onan was messing with me, right? And I was in Double Tap was talking about him. This was like a while ago. I saw OG Snake Spotter. They didn't even know I was in the chat, because a lot of times I be doing something, I be in the bushes. OG Snake Spotter said, yeah, he better leave Tamara alone. I know that. He been my boo ever since then. Okay. The Black Barber says, you would have blocked Gotti too. No, I ain't gonna block Gotti. Cause see, I ain't got no issues with Tangle. I'll tangle with Gotti. I'll invite him on up here. Okay, I'll invite Gotti. I'll drop the link for Gotti. Okay, I can guarantee you he ain't gonna click it. Gotti don't want to tangle with me. He ain't gonna come. Gotti ain't gonna come up here. Okay, but if he come into the chat, I got questions for him. So he ain't gonna come into the chat. Okay, I know he sends his people into the chat, but I wish he would um I wish they would identify themselves, because I got some questions for them too. Okay, we need to know why they killed Dog. Why they just had to do that. Okay, they see that, because so what they're gonna always do is disguise themselves. I wish they would be brave enough to come to the chat. Okay, but back to P Diddy, it's just the beginning. So now that we see P Diddy, okay, going down, I don't think it's gonna be long for a lot of other ones, okay, especially as it relates to a lot of the black ones, right? A lot of the black um celebrities. Now, I want to say this about Diddy. They have no more use for Diddy. That's why Diddy went and got Miami Young and all of that, because they say she in her I never would have thought Miami Young was in her damn 20s. I never would have thought it. Okay, she looks terrible. But she a pretty girl, but she would start getting that stuff in her face. Okay. And so that's why he went and got Miami Young, and because Diddy is not relevant anymore. So he go get Young Miami, and she helps to really make him relevant, right? She makes him relevant to the younger generation that don't give a damn about him, don't really know him, okay, like that. And so he needs to stay relevant. And then she helps to get him a whole new batch of she helps to get him since Cassie gone, he needs somebody that's down with helping him to he still want to do them freak offs. Okay. Hey, on one we go. Shorty like to get peed on. Yeah. Young Miami says she likes to get peed on. And that ain't all. Now we already know. Now let me just say this. Now we think about what Young Miami said, that she likes to get peed on, which is nasty. That, oh my God, it's gross. Hepatitis. Okay, that's when I think about hepatitis. Cassie said that they were peeing in her mouth and all of that. If Young Miami like getting pissed on, she was drinking piss too. It was peeing in her mouth too. Okay. So he went and got somebody that he went and got her because I guess she liked drinking pee. He is trying to get his kids age, and that's sad. Yeah. So they don't need Diddy no more. Diddy has stole and helped to make these elites really rich as well as himself by stealing all of these artists money and royalties and all of that by not giving them nothing. He didn't give them nothing. That's how evil he is. He gave them nothing and treated them like crap. And so now they don't need him. He's old. Okay. He having freak off parties. At least they all done had him. What they want him for? Okay. They all done had him. So he's an old uncle. They look at him as an old uncle. The elites that he was bending over for, they said Clive Davis is senile and shitting all over himself. Now, if it's a lie, that's what I read. Okay. So a lot of them are on their way out. Nobody gives a damn about Diddy, but Diddy, you have to pay for what you do. You have to pay for what you do. Okay? He said, real talk, Yo Gotti was at them P. Diddy parties. Shit it, we know why he is in Italy. Why? What's going on in Italy? They had them parties in Italy too. He on the run. That's why he in Italy. Okay? And so now that they've used him up, he's not relevant really. They have no more use for him. They're not giving him big amounts of credit. I mean, he can't do nothing for him. Nobody dare signs with him because they already know what's gonna happen. Bad Boys is basically defunct. Have been for a long time. Who gonna sign with him after a lot of these young men and women started getting smart and going independent? They started figuring out a lot of the stuff as it relates to the industry themselves. I got to give my props to a lot of these people now. Okay. Taking the time to learn about what they want their job to be. Okay. And learning the business really it's to each one. It should be to each one teach one. A lot of them, you got social media that makes it easy for them what the record company was once doing by showing them, putting them on platforms. Now you can do it for free on social media. A lot of them getting smart and knowing how to copyright their music and all of that, okay, before they put it up. Okay. So there's no more need for Diddy and all of the tricks and all of the sugar daddies that he had, okay, that wore his butt out. They about out, some of them dead, and a lot of the other ones half dead. So now it's Diddy's time to pay. You have to reap what you sow. That man has done people so dirty, even the people that was hired to help him. I was listening to one of his old assistants' testimonies today. She said when she first started working for him as an assistant, he told her that she could not go to sleep, I believe, for 72 hours. And if she went to sleep, there was going to be some repercussions. She moved into his house, one of his houses in Beverly Hills, and she said the first night she felt like it was a challenge. And she knew she couldn't go to sleep because she knew he was serious about if she goes to sleep, there's going to be repercussions. He said, we a team. And he said, you don't sleep until I tell you to sleep. So when he first hired her, she couldn't sleep, I believe she said, for about 72 hours. And then she said she started crying. She started getting delusional. She was taking Adderall. And then Diddy told her, now you can go to sleep. This is the type of control that he wanted to exert like he was a damn god. Now he got his ass in jail looking like Grady. Okay. Okay. So that man gonna have to pay for that. That man is going to have to pay for a lot of what he has done. Okay? That's what he got to do. That's exactly what he has to do. So, I mean, just the mere fact when I hear other black people talking about, they're trying to take down a black man. Did it been taking down black men for over 30 years now. That's why I don't understand the logic of that when it comes to our race. That's why I know it's something wrong with a lot of us. We don't look at the character of the person. We put people in places high places that they shouldn't be in based on how much money we think they got. Okay, because did it ain't got the character to do a damn thing. Anytime you got your money coming up off of the backs of hurting other black people that's in your community. And then a lot of black people so damn twisted, they said up the did it gave them folks opportunity. It's something wrong with our damn community. How in the hell he giving folks opportunity, leaving them broke, busted, and disgusted? That lets you know that a lot of black people so damn crazy, they feel like you made it if you got fame and you ain't got a damn dime. That's why they get their asses up on social media at the damn fool and ain't getting a damn penny for it. Because they feel like that is what success is, when you can jump on YouTube and act a damn fool and do the things that they do, because YouTube pays a penny a view. Okay, a penny a view. Okay. Oh, this next slide says that's the problem. The middlemen are doing the most. Dolph and Nip found out how to get rid of the middleman. Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons why they wanted them gone. Okay. That's one of the reasons why they wanted them gone. And they got a bunch of damn fools that they knew he was into it with to go ahead and help them to do that. I see, I don't find it a coincidence that a lot of the thank you thank you, Stephen, for sending me that. That a lot of the people, when Dolph was killed, you had a lot of rappers that was scared to say um rest in peace. They didn't want to say nothing. Okay. I always found it weird that Yo Gotti started getting out going up when Doc was killed. I just they started giving him all those loans and stuff. It was just because when you get a deal with Interscope and they give you $100 million, it's a fucking loan. Okay, that's why he about to break Glorilla's back because he got to pay that money back. Okay, but the industry is on a downward spiral. And I just believe it is because the God that we serve, the higher power, whatever you all want to call it. I mean, that is what overrides everything. Everybody has their reign, even evil, for a minute. But that energy that you put out into the atmosphere is the energy that is gonna have that is gonna come back. You're gonna have to deal with that very energy. Okay, you're gonna have to deal with that very energy. You all make sure y'all hit the like button for me, okay? I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe, okay? So the industry is on a downward spiral, and I don't think it could have came soon enough, because I think when things start to fall, it has to do that, especially with the evilness and all of the backs and the blood and the bodies that the industry has built itself up off of. Okay, the dead bodies. Hold on, you all. Okay, I know they just called me. Okay, I was just making sure. All right, bye bye. Okay, you guys, I'm back. Um, okay, I digress. Y'all, what was I saying before them folks called me? I forgot. There's nothing worse than a coward and a liar. I agree. I agree. There's nothing worse than a coward and a liar. Y'all run the likes up. That helps to kick the video into the algorithm. Okay. Make sure y'all help me to run the likes up. Hey. Be quiet. Y'all make sure y'all help me to run the likes up. I said stop. Um, if you haven't subscribed, please do subscribe, okay? And if you can't type on the channel, because I got it's like I know I got a big block list, but I mean it's bigger than what I thought it was, and I never go. I just happen to. If you can't type on the channel, reach out to me on Facebook. I be on Facebook more than I be on Instagram. On my like page, Real Talk with Tamara, and let me know that you having issues with typing in the chat. See if I can unblock you. Okay, tell me what was the name of your other page, Maddie Stone. But you guys, I think it's about time that the industry failed. Okay. I think it's about time that the industry failed. Because I think it's time for good people to start rising up. I think everything happens for a reason. The beautiful thing about it is those people that really had a drive that they tried to keep out of the industry. Now we have social media, right? A lot of those people took that opportunity to figure the business out for themselves, right? So that they could create some generational wealth. So even in a bad thing, that hey, good things start to come because there is a God. Good things will come out of that, right? And I think that is exactly what had happened. Okay, and more people need to learn the business so that they can be try to go to independent routes. Also, um, they can or at least own most of their images and all of that. Hold on, you all. Look at this text message. Okay. Is this on social media? If so, where? Um, the industry would just reinvent themselves. I don't know. I think people, and I try not to be so hard because we all have our own little flaws. We all have our own little flaws. Okay. Um, See if you can unblock me on your regular page. Okay. You Miss Rita, you're blocked? Oh, Steven is at the concert. Glock is in Alabama. Steven says he is out there. He just sent me a text message that y'all, the line is around the building. Shout out to Key Glock. Let me see if I can. Yeah, shout out to Key Glock. Steven just sent me a video of him standing in line. And I mean, it's wrapped around the building. People waiting in line to get into the concert. Shout out to Key Glock. He's representing Memphis down there in Birmingham, Alabama tonight. We pray for we pray for safety and travel grace and all of that as it relates to Key Glock. Y'all make sure y'all send that positive energy to him. Safety, protection, traveling grace for him and everybody with him, okay? He's representing for the imp. If that was your day, one homie or partner or friend you should show your love, RIP or rest in paradise, then you are not the real friend. I agree. Look, Cypress, we got a hater on the line. As they say, there's a hater on the line. Cypress is hating already. Okay? Cypress is hating already. Okay? Yes, prayers for safety and traveling mercies for them all. Yeah, I have so much going on. I be from one thing to the other. I do. Okay. I do. We'll get into talking about some more stuff, but I also want to talk about Larry Hoover has been part. Did I see exposing the truth in here? I don't know. Exposing the truth. What you need to do is send hold on one second. Hold on, you all. Let me pull this up. Let's see. Y'all, hold on for just give me a second. I'm trying to pull something up, okay? Just give me a second. We're going to talk about what the community leaders are saying in a minute, but yeah, is there a movie on Larry? Because I think I want to. Hold on. Y'all make sure y'all hit the like button for me.
That's what I'm talking about. Can you hear me now?
Larry Hoover is currently at the notorious Supermax prison in Colorado. His family hasn't been able to speak with him today to get his reaction to his commutation. Hoover still faces the remainder of a state prison sentence for murder, but his family is hoping for clemency from Governor Pritzker.
It's overwhelming. It's a long time coming, and we just want to hope it go all the way through.
The wife and son of Larry Hoover, after his 6 federal life sentences, were commuted by President Trump.
He deserves redemption. He deserves a second chance at being a part of this community. And he could be a benefit to this community if they want him to be a benefit to this community.
Hoover co-founded the Chicago Gangster Disciples, and while behind bars for a 1973 murder, federal prosecutors say he continued to run the gang's prolific multi-state drug operations.
If Larry Hoover said it was going to be a killing, it was a killing.
Ron Safer was the lead federal prosecutor who secured Hoover's 1997 conviction for running a criminal enterprise behind bars.
I believe in redemption, but there are some crimes that are so horrific that they deserve the punishment to the full extent of the law.
As years passed, Hoover's case drew increasing attention, including from artists like Kanye West and Chance the Rapper.
And I gotta remind y'all that he was a political prisoner.
He is being held because he is a symbol, not because he needs further incarceration or he hasn't been rehabilitated.
The president's commutation only applies to Hoover's federal sentence. He still faces state prison time for which he's eligible for parole. Governor J.B. Pritzker can also offer clemency.
We know that Governor Pritzker believes in rehabilitation, redemption, and transformation, and he's done all of that.
A governor spokesperson declined to comment on Hoover's case, but said inmates seeking parole or clemency must petition the Illinois Prisoner Review Board, which makes parole decisions and issues recommendations to the governor regarding clemency.
Well, it looks like he might, it's not going to be as easy as he thought.
With GLP-1s. Roe can help with that. But they can't help
Because
with big mouth.
the governor of Illinois may not be fond of
This is what I'm
Trump.
gonna look like in a year.
Now, is Chicago a red or a blue
superhero
state?
movie?
No, but that's how I feel when I hit my goal weight with Roe.
I mean,
Can
is
GLP-1s
Illinois a
throw
red
weight
or a blue
to do all
state?
this?
I'm
They can
sorry.
help you lose 20% of your
Illinois.
weight, but I need your help with a makeover. Do you like emo Chuck or cowboy Chuck?
Roe, lose everything but your big mouth. See if you qualify at roe.co/check.
The push continues tonight to free Larry Hoover. The former gang leader was convicted of running his gang operation in the 90s while he was behind bars for murder in 1973. Yesterday, President Donald Trump commuted his federal sentence, and now some are calling on Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to do the same thing. NBC5's V. Wynn has reaction from both sides in Inglewood.
Supporters of Larry Hoover on the South Side are calling on the Illinois Prisoner Review Board and Governor J.B. Pritzker to act on his case, claiming he's a redeemed man and transformed behind bars. Jamal Green says he's a close family friend.
I think that there'll be mass pressure here for JB to show that he believes in redemption. If we're going by what he claims he believes and the policies and that he has signed on with his pen, then Larry Hoover represents that. This is merely politics if J.B. Pritzker does not use the stroke of his pen.
Hoover, who is now 74 years old, was serving 6 life sentences in a federal prison in Colorado. He was convicted of operating a criminal enterprise in the late 90s while in prison for the 1973 murder of William Young. The former kingpin is now waiting to be transferred back to Illinois to serve out his time for that murder.
I'm very sensitive to any victim of any act of crime, but I have to go back to 50 years of the penal system, which was designed for rehabilitation.
NBC5 Investigates found Hoover was denied parole in 2022. The Illinois Prisoner Review Board read letters from the victim's family written in 2008 protesting his release. The board also weighed his patterns of reported crime.
I think that if the Prison Review Board looks at the totality of the situation, I think that they will make a recommendation to for the governor to provide a clemency to Mr. Hoover.
State Senator Willie Preston grew up in Inglewood and penned this letter yesterday, saying the focus now should be on the man Hoover has become.
I understand both folks on both sides, some who quite frankly felt a lot of pain, but also those who again believe in the power of redemption.
We reached out to the governor's office for comment. We're told Hoover would have to petition the Illinois Prisoner Review Board before clemency would be considered. Reporting in Inglewood, V1 NBC5 News.
Our thanks to V.
Okay, so it looks like he's got a battle still. And Antico says that Illinois is a blue state, so the governor may not be. So is the governor Democratic? Do you all have a Democratic governor or a Republican governor, Antico? Is he Democrat or Republican? Because if he's a Democrat, he's probably not on board with Trump. You know, Trump may not have him in his pocket. And then we know that we know how Trump is. He's crafty now. He may have already he already knew that once he pardoned him, he wouldn't be able to get out because he still had other charges. Now he's going to be back in Illinois. His family will be able to, get to physically see him more, but he probably still is not going to get out, Now, I got to say this now. C. Murder, on the other hand, that governor in the state of Louisiana is all up. He got his head all up Trump's ass. So I think it would be good for C. Murder and his family to start trying to, stroke Trump's ego like the Christies did. Y'all see Savannah got Trump to pardon her family. Now, I don't think that Trump can pardon C. Murder, but I think he's got the influence to call the governor to do it. That's what I'm saying, of Louisiana, because we see the governor of Louisiana always supporting Trump, always got his head up his butt and all of that. I mean, I'm just saying that's a way to do it. Rita says, even though I'm not much of a talker, but it'll be nice to come and chat with. Yes, I didn't know that you were blocked. Because, see, I thought you was in the chat with everybody. They said Trump the plug. He going to get C out next. Yeah, Trump the plug. Trump is the plug. Okay. So what they need to do is they need to get to Trump so Trump can sit in that Oval Office and make that phone call to the governor. And I can promise you, I bet you he's going to be out. Anyways, you guys, as it relates to Larry Hoover, he definitely has a battle ahead of him. Okay, he has a battle ahead of him. You all make sure y'all hit that like button. Okay, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. Okay, please like, share, and subscribe. Hold on, you all. Trump the plug. He gonna get C out next. Anyways, you guys, I'm trying to pull up something. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Now we coming back to Memphis for a little while. Okay. On the commentary, I'm ready to talk about something that's going on in a couple things that's going on around Memphis. Okay. It says the FBI targets Memphis cargo thefts to combat rising crime.
At 4.
Topping the headlines on your news leader at 4, the FBI task force is setting its sights on the Bluff City to help combat crime. Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today. I'm April Thompson.
I'm Alex Coleman. Today, the FBI's assistant special agent in charge of the Memphis field office sat down with WREG to talk about the problem of boxcar bandits and why he also says Memphis needs additional resources to help reduce our high homicide rate.
Memphis is known as America's distribution center, a major hub for storing, packing, and shipping goods. But according to the FBI, it's also a hotspot for cargo theft. Boxcar thieves are targeting trains as freight rolls into the Bluff City.
FBI headquarters recognizing that we've got a significant amount of transportation infrastructure that converges here in Memphis with rail, with I-40 and 55, with the Mississippi River, FedEx Super Hub. And all of that, unfortunately, presents a lot of opportunities for criminals.
Jeremy Baker, FBI Assistant Special Agent in charge of the Memphis field office, says these boxcar bandits have become more opportunistic and businesses must be on alert.
It is a big problem. And we do see insiders, unfortunately, that are oftentimes committing these warehouses, trucking firms, things like that. So I think it's a good reminder for the business owners and operators to be vigilant.
To help combat the cargo heist, Memphis is just one of a few cities that has a special FBI task force.
So historically, the FBI has had a number of cargo theft task forces around the country, and Memphis still has one of those.
The task force works with other law enforcement to arrest criminals and make sure they face stiff penalties.
We are taking it very seriously, and we're working with our partners to bring these criminals to justice the best way possible so they get the stiffest penalties possible. And this is all part of our public safety strategy, which is largely revolved around reducing violent crime.
But reducing violent crime also comes at a time when the FBI field office recently moved from Memphis to Nashville. Still, Baker says the mission hasn't changed.
So boots on the ground, though, actually agents doing the work, intelligence analysts, those that are connecting the dots in our cases, that has not changed in Memphis. And it looks like we're actually going to receive an increase here. So we're optimistic about things.
FBI Director Kash Patel recently labeled Memphis the homicide capital of America and says he will be sending additional resources here. Baker says he welcomes it.
But as law enforcement, we're going to do what we can do, and that is putting together the best cases and, arresting folks, and then really trying to work with our prosecuting offices to get the most violent offenders off the streets.
Now, Baker says he couldn't comment on the exact number of FBI resources coming here, but he says it will be beneficial to the city of Memphis and West Tennessee.
Oh, wow. So that means that they get ready to take down a lot of officers too, because from my understanding, I do know that the railroads have their own police, but from my understanding, either the Memphis police, but I believe it is the railroad police, is working with some of these criminals to help them to steal. They watch them steal this stuff off of these trains, and they get them what they want, and then they let them steal as much as they want to. So with the FBI coming in, I'm sure it's probably already going on, a lot of undercover stuff going on. Y'all gonna start seeing a lot of employees of these places are going to be more than likely arrested. Okay, and which they need to be, because they driving prices up. Shit. Hold on one second, you all. Y'all, this is what is extremely sad to me. Now, we see what is going on, and we got parents that are in Memphis, okay, that's going up to high schools and stuff, or elementary schools, fighting. Hold on.
First at 5 tonight, jaw-dropping video as a fight erupts among parents during an elementary school graduation. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Stephanie Skurlock.
And I'm Greg Hurst. Some say parents acting like the children. Now, those punches were thrown Wednesday at Falk Elementary in West Memphis. WRG's Raven Copeland joins us now live with the school's response and the community's reaction to the fight. Raven, what'd you learn?
Yeah, Greg and Stephanie, West Memphis School Superintendent, he has responded to the incident, and he says that type of behavior, it's a zero tolerance he says there is a zero tolerance policy for the unacceptable behavior that was displayed in that video.
This week's graduation at Falk Elementary will be one to remember, and it's not because of the ceremony or the graduates.
Oh my God, that was what, 2, 3 different people fight?
And it's at a graduation.
For the kids. That's ridiculous.
Shocking video shows a group of parents yelling and throwing punches at each other in front of kids. You can see parents, children, and staff members staring or walking off in disbelief. Some kids are even heard crying and yelling "stop" to the people involved in the brawl.
And what do you think that type of message, sends for kids seeing parents fight like that?
That they can do the same thing. It's a bad influence that they're not handling themselves as an adult.
People I spoke to in West Memphis say this type of behavior sends the wrong message to
All
children.
you can see
and
is
those who are
burgundy and
involved
orange
should
and
face consequences.
blue
It
hair.
shouldn't be happening around children especially, and these are grown folks at a kid's graduation. That shouldn't be happening at all. All of them need to be held accountable for it. Everybody who's involved. That's what I think about it.
West Memphis' Superintendent Eric Foister shares similar thoughts. In a statement, he says the school district is cooperating with the police department and supports the efforts to prosecute those responsible for the fight.
Now, the West Memphis School Board, they have a special called meeting tonight at 5:15. Right now, it's unclear if that fight will be discussed, but WREG will let you know if it's a topic. Reporting live from West Memphis for your news leader, Raven Copeland, WREG News.
I tell you. Yeah, what is wrong? We wonder why we get to talking about these kids. We get to talking about these children and how they act. But I told y'all, children, I always say children are an exact result of their environment. Now, if they got a daddy and they're around men that are being disrespectful to women, okay. See, first of all, women are the models of their household. They got to be, they set the tone for the household, okay. Ladies, we set the tone for the household, okay. At least we try to. And so if your kids are seeing you have your sons are seeing you got Tom, Dick, and Harry, or even if you got they no good ass daddy up in your house and he don't treat you right, kids are watching that. So if you got a man around you and he's calling you bitches and hoes and all of that, you're going to have a son to grow up and be disrespectful to women also, because this is what he has seen. The same thing with little girls. If you got little girls, okay, and you are old messy hood rat that stay on the phone gossiping, talking about your friends, talking about one friend to the other, keeping shit going, that's the exact same way that your child is going to be. Okay? So how do they expect for their children to act, and how embarrassing? But a lot of times, a lot of them think that stuff is cute. They think that it is cute to be up there fighting like that. You know what I'm talking about? No regards for their children, no class, just totally distasteful, and don't have a problem with being distasteful. Okay? And see, that's the type of stuff that bothers me, how people can be as old as Medusa, whoever he is, okay? And they asses ain't trying to get no better. All you can see is red and orange and green damn hair flying everywhere, okay? Fighting. No problems at all. And then I bet the first thing they did was got out and got them from, yeah, I whipped that bitch ass at my child graduation. So that's what I talk about when I say that our community has to do better. Nobody wants to talk about it. You know, folks will say, well, you know, you act like you didn't grow up in the projects. I did. I sure did. I grew up in the projects until I was almost 13 years old. Okay, but we dare not act like that. Okay, and the reason I know that kids are a product of their environment, I think about when I was growing up in the project, how my dictation was, you know, how, you know, because, you know, in the South, our tongue is really lazy. A lot of the stuff that we used to say, I want to prickle, you know what I mean? Just because I heard people around, you know, that's how we talked. Oftentimes, I would, you know, that's just how I thought about that. And then when we moved from out of Clementine to Twinkletown, and I started being around other environments and other people, my vocabulary kind of changed a little bit, because I can remember when we first moved over there. At first, I would talk to certain people. They said, "What you say? What did you say? Say that again," because they would make fun of you. So it made me have to think about what I was saying and how I was saying it, and change my vocabulary some, right? And so that's how I know, like I always say, kids are definitely a product of their environment. And even, but just because you live in the projects don't mean you have to act like you live in the projects, because there are a lot of successful people that grew up in the projects until they was old enough to leave home and became very successful. Just because you in the projects don't mean you have to be of the projects. You know what I mean? You don't, you know, it's good to be proud of where you came from. I wouldn't want to change the time that I you know, had growing up in the projects. Okay, I wouldn't want to change that. That's how I know you don't have to be disrespectful just because you grow up in the hood, because we grew up in the hood and we dare not be disrespectful, especially to our elders. So that is a choice. That's people not caring about anything anymore. Just give me my damn food stamps and give me my welfare check. And folks get mad when I say that, but we're going to have to deal with this shit today. Okay? At some point, we got to set our damn minds on doing better and stop giving these folks excuses. Instead of, if you're a family member and you have the wherewithal to try and help, to put, as words cost nothing. Sometimes you ought to, if you got a person's ear, you ought to be able to stop them and say, let me talk to you. See, the problem is people want to correct you, but they want to do it in front of other people, which means that's embarrassing. They don't know how to do it because they want a fucking brownie point. But it ought to be a way that you know how to pull somebody to the side and say, look, what you doing ain't, you need to rethink that. That ain't cute what you doing. That's not cool. And I'm telling you this because I love you, or I care about you, me and you rock. That ain't right. Folks talking about you. I think you need to rethink that. And the way that you show people what they doing ain't right, you got to stop. You have to pull away from them. Why you ain't come? Nah, I don't like how I can't come to nothing like that. If they want you around, they gonna change a little bit. If they want to come to what you got going on, they already know they gonna have to change it up a little bit. You can't bring that hood rat shit to nothing I got going on, or else you ain't invited. Okay? But what people do is they'll laugh and gloat at what you do, and then turn around and did you see what she did? Such and such, such. I don't like people like that either. Okay, I don't like an old gossiping hen. Okay, I don't like no cackling hens. Okay, they want to see people do bad and act a damn fool and act a hood rat and be, you know, doing bad and all that stuff, so they can have something to talk about. And so a lot of what goes on in our community, y'all, like I say, I can't be, you know, I wish I could change some things. I wish I could, but I know I can't save everybody. Okay? Because I'm still learning some stuff myself. Okay? We all have growing pains. because I got to teach God to show me how I can be good, be of service to his people without them burning me, right? So we all go through things, and for God to direct me to the people that I really can help, okay? That really need to be helped. Okay? Then they'll say she thinks she better than me. That's how they get. Yeah. And the way to respond is, I am better than you. You act like a hood rat. I don't. Sometimes you have to go ahead and shut people down. You think you better than me? I am. Look at you fighting all at the damn school, bitch. I would never. Go ahead and make them shame. Okay? Y'all, hit the like button for me. Okay, make sure you guys please like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Okay? I'm gonna have to find my phone so I can be opening up the phone lines. I can't find my phone. One of my phones. But when I saw that, I just thought that was messed up, you guys. I don't really know what's going on in our community. They said a retired judge has been hired to manage the jail population. What the hell that mean? According to the sheriff's office, Carter will convene groups to discuss opportunities to reduce the jail population. Oh, well, that's good then if it can work. Y'all, they said that 911 phone number has been spoofed by scammers. So be careful, okay? Be careful about when you get calls. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button for me. I wish I could drop the link, but we already know how they do it. Then they'll say she thinks she better. Yep. Anyways, you guys, I guess for the next 30 minutes, we could talk about. I'll be on. Let's see. Yeah, I stay on for 30 more minutes. We could talk about whatever it is y'all want to talk about. I talked about everything because I'm gonna do a separate video on something else. I'm gonna do a pre-recorded video. But other than that, we could talk about what y'all want to talk about. How is the weather in you all's areas? How is the weather? I was so lazy this morning. I didn't even get up and run to the gym, but I am going to get up early in the morning and go. I am. I feel so, y'all know what? I feel so good. Like when I go to the gym early in the morning, it's good to go before you go to work. You get up early enough to go to work, and you train your body, because my body is trained to get up at every morning for some reason around 5:45. My eyes pop open like clockwork. Nothing. If my eyes pop open at 6:30, I go, oh my God, I done overslept. Like for some reason, I'm just trying to get up there early. And so I was like, when I was getting up there early, I was like, a lot of times I just sit there like, why am I up this early? But what I've started doing is just running to the gym, and that helps me with my energy and stuff. And it's good to, it helps with your energy. It also helps with your mind, of course, with the weight and stuff like that. To get your metabolism and stuff going. I am seeing this holistic nurse that is also a dietitian. So, because as you start to get older, your metabolism starts to slow down anyway. So you have to work out more, especially when that menopausal stuff start to set in. It will make you gain weight. It's hard for the weight and stuff to come off. So anything that you eat, it seems like it blows you. So I was talking to Diane. She was like, I work out every single day. I think, and I noticed like the energy levels that I have when I get up and go early in the morning before I get my day started. It's just a good thing for me. It really is. It's just a good thing for me. Yeah. I think I was when I was my I told y'all my mother is an evangelist, and of course my mom has like praying sessions and stuff with her and a few more other women. I had really stopped getting in on the line, but I got on the line today, which was a good thing. And yeah, I think it's just time for mind, body, and soul and stuff to line up. You have to keep your mind right, keep your spirit right, and you have to keep your body and stuff in alignment with it. Definitely your soul and all of that, so that you can keep your spiritual awareness heightened, so that you can protect your energy. Protecting your energy is protecting yourself, ultimately your physical body also. And so those are a lot of things that we have to do. Days and stuff, like my mom said, is just going by so fast. You look at like I wake up at like 5:45 in the morning, and it's still like, dog, time go by so fast. Like for some reason today, I thought today was Wednesday. I was in shock. I was like, today Thursday? I was totally thrown off. Like the days and stuff is moving so fast. So I think what we have to get about doing, you guys, is first of all, we got to stay prayed up, and that is just to keep our spiritual juice up on the inside of us so that we can be aware, be heightened, to be protected. And that is to be protected by God, right? To keep all evilness and negativeness that may slip through the cracks away from us. That's just the thing that we have to do. And I was talking to when I was on, we were on the line today talking on their praying. My mom's in them praying line. I was saying that it is like for some reason I know I have a really giving spirit, and I have but it is like I attract spirits that want to, for some reason, attack me. I don't know why. Okay. Now, none of us are innocent, but I attract spirits that are for some reason, are very vicious. And so I know that's one of the reasons why one while, like, I was totally like isolated. I was real isolated. And then like when my dad died, I became isolated again. And I was just getting to a point like where I was getting past all of that. And I was getting back to the point of where I once was. I'll never be how I was before, just trusting, just eager to help anybody. Because what I had to realize, that comes with age. Everybody does not have the spirit that I have. People come from different backgrounds. Folks, you'll be helping folks and they be mad that you got the wherewithal to help them. Okay. They'll be mad about that. She thinks she's some because she could feed me. It's twisted people like that. So that's why I think I had like a shock when I got on the internet and I started seeing all of these evil spirits like that came from humans. Like I've never been around people like I've seen on the internet. I didn't even know. And I've worked for the police department, and I've come in contact with some people, but I ain't never. I've come in contact mostly with criminals, but most criminals are sharp. Okay, a lot of them are smarter than what you think, except for the ones that's on drugs. I ain't never had to really deal with no demonic mentally ill motherfuckers. Excuse my French. Lord forgive me, because y'all we done been on the prayer line, but that hood comes up out of me sometime, okay? And so it was shocking to me to see how the internet has so many damn fools running around off of their meds, okay? So that was definitely a shock to me. But I was saying that I was telling them, I was like, I have to pray, because people are initially attracted to my spirit, and then when people are attracted to your spirit, I think it's because of an anointing or something like that. But when they see that you shut off them in some type of way, or they feel that you shut them off in some type of way, those spirits viciously come after you. And I'm just saying, like, from what I have experienced, like, they become extremely vicious, right? And what people need to understand is, like, each and every person is different. I have my own problems. I have things I have to deal with. I know I works hard. I works very hard, but a lot of that is unhealthy, because I almost work myself to death to not think about a lot of the stuff, especially in the past, that I had going on, right? To the point that I was really almost neglecting myself. Because if I would sit still, that means I had to think about something that I couldn't change, that was really about to torment me to death, which is probably, my dad's death. I could not sit still. Okay. And so when people start to find themselves, because you don't stay in those positions, in those conditions forever, you know what I mean? Because people die every day, but when you love them, it's not like that to you. It's like, that's my loved one that is gone. It seems like as soon as it took me years and years and years to get over my grandmama dying. Okay. It took me years and years to get over my grandmama dying. I can remember, like, when my grandma died, I was working for the sheriff's office, and each and every time that somebody died, I was working in the chief's office. We would have to put up an email out on the display, letting everybody at the sheriff's office know that this person's relative has died, and the funeral arrangements, if you wanted to go support them and all of that. And I remember when my grandmother passed away, and I was in shock. I was like, dog, I've been putting up everybody's family members of printing out emails and putting up the funeral arrangements, and a little memorial, a little something to show the condolences in the display board. And now I got to do it for my very own grandmother, who was in my life. And I call my grandma mama too. Like, we were all joined at the hip. She was my mama too, right? I always tell everybody I had two mamas, because we were always together. It wasn't like I was with my grandma sometimes and I was with my mama. We were always together, all of us. And so I remember the chief asked me, Chief Moore was like, when are you going to put up your grandmother's funeral arrangements? I said, I cannot do it. I could not bring myself to do it, because then I had to deal with the fact that my grandmother had passed away, because I just never thought, for some reason, I just couldn't believe. I was still in shock, right? And so it took me years and years and years to get past that, right? And I remember when my grandmother had passed away, I remember we were so distraught, because St. Francis killed her. I don't recommend nobody go out there. Okay. I remember one of my aunties called, one of my cousins called my dad and was like, Rick, come and get your girls, because we was torn up and falling out and screaming and stuff at that hospital, because she was really on a life support, and my mother had to make the decision to unplug her. I think that messes with my mama to this day. And then they was like, we're gonna go, once we unplug her, she was gonna die. They was like, my mom was like, well, don't unplug her. She had started trying to pass like every, I'll say every, I don't know, when the machine would go off. My mama had told them every time the machine goes off, resuscitate her. So she started trying to pass like maybe like I think it was like less than an hour. Because when we were sitting out there with her, they had to come in there and resuscitate her, do CPR on her. And so the doctor was like, I got to have a serious conversation with you. He said, when we resuscitated your mother, did CPR on her this last time, we broke her rib. I know you don't want us to consistently do this. You need to make a decision because your mother is trying to go. Okay. So that was devastating to me. And so then I remember, my dad was out there. I remember my dad just standing in a corner. Okay. With his hands behind his back. My dad has always been a gentleman. Okay. When he got out there. And so when I get on here, I can't deal when I see people have evil, vicious spirits. I can't deal with them. And so that's why when I see that those spirits, because people have spirits on them, it's like they come from all different walks of life. Okay. They have all of these evil spirits on them. I wasn't raised like that. I was not. I'm not perfect. Okay, but I wasn't raised like some of these vindictive, vicious folks that ain't never had nothing. You have to be careful about when people ain't got nothing, ain't never had nothing. I'm not saying that to be mean. They don't hold value in nothing. They'll try to make you lose everything. Okay, so that's why I have to tap into I've been finding myself getting real vicious when I don't want to. It takes me off balance when I have to, and I go, okay, well, I ain't gonna stop. I'm getting law enforcement involved, and I'm not gonna stop until they in jail. Okay, and that takes me off balance. So I'm like, dog, why can't folks just get on here and vlog? Okay, God is a fucking celebrity, and anybody else that I talk about. So I mean, everybody talks about celebrities. And I'm not saying this at no one person. I'm just saying. And so I'm talking about this. That's why I said we have to keep our spiritual awareness up, because when you start to see the others, you don't ever know what the other side of people really is. Which means you don't really know how people are. When you start to see that dark side of them, when they allow those spirits and stuff to take over them. And so I think the only way to overcome stuff like that is to continuously stay prayed up. Because I know, like, I get busy. Because I'm like, I want to do this. I be having these goals in my mind, and I start neglecting myself and everything else, because I go, I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do that because I got a goal, right? I'm a grade A hustler for real. Okay. Okay. I need to get a certification in this because that's going to help me get that. I need to make some connections with this person. So if I go and I sign up for this, then I'll be able to have connections with that person. I get into the realtor group, then I can go do some loan signings, and I can be connected to the people that can give me the contracts. I'm always, my mind, that's why I'm forgetful, because I'm always thinking about stuff, right? I just running myself ragged, because one person can't make all the money, and it ain't even that good to run yourself that ragged to do something like that, right? When you're thinking about stuff like that. And so, what did the Exposing the Truth say? I'm just, y'all, I hate looking at the comments because I get to looking at, I'm missing y'all's stuff. And so today I decided, when my mother was praying and crying, today I decided, that I'm going to do what is necessary. And I'm telling you all this too, because we all just have to be careful. You don't have to change who you are. Be the same loving, kind person that you've always been, but be wise about it. Be wise about it. As my mother was saying to me today, all I ever said to y'all was be careful about who you allow in your space. That's it. And I understand, my mama, I ain't trying to run your life. Be careful. Okay? Because you don't ever know the other side of people. Okay? And so I'm going to say that to you all. Be careful. Keep your spiritual antennas up. And the way to keep up your spiritual antennas is to stay prayed up. Everybody don't even believe in God, so they don't have no convictions. They ain't got no convictions. They don't care about what they do because they ain't got nothing. They don't believe in nothing higher that's going to hold them accountable. So that's a scary thing. So you have to be very careful. Everybody does not even deserve, regardless of how jacked up you might be. You might not even have it together, but you still got something about you that need to be protected, right? Even if you ain't got it all together, everybody still does not deserve to be in your personal space nor your presence. But some of you got gifts on you that you don't even realize yet, right? So always remember that. I had to get that out there. Okay. Always remember that. Just stay prayed up. Get you a scripture and start reading that scripture. Keep that word on the inside of you. Get around people that are positive, but know how to deal with them, right? When people start trying to get too close up or force themselves into your personal space, you might need to cut them folks off because it ain't even normal for people to want to all of a sudden just force themselves into your personal space. Or all of a sudden they just want to be in your personal space. Most people like that have an agenda. It's not that they liking or loving you that well. They got an agenda. Okay, so be very, very wise about stuff like that. I agree. The reality. I agree. Y'all, what Grayface said? Was he was in here earlier. Grayface, I think Cornelius goes to court. Does he go Tuesday? Does Cornelius go to court on Tuesday? He goes to court on Tuesday. We don't have to ask True Results because he know. Y'all hit the like button for me. You all hit the like button. Anyways, y'all. Let's see. Anyways, y'all, we got 20 more minutes. What y'all want to talk about? I try to make it 2 hours. Help me out. What y'all want to talk about? I be trying to make it like a 2-hour show. I mean, I got on early because I got home from work. I really was supposed to be doing some work when I got home. But I always like work on cases and stuff when I get home. I've been doing that because in cases it's summertime, so my caseload has is going up, and I think I'm gonna start doing a lot more pre-recorded shows because with the way my caseload is going up, and I'm getting those I'm getting those high felony cases. So I'm gonna be working quite a bit when after I leave work and get home. That's the only way I know how to do what I need to do so I can go on and close them out. I'm one of those ones I don't really like for my caseload to pile up on me. So I'll work all the way through, stay late at work, be working as soon as I get home so that I can go ahead and do what I need to do. Because I know that a lot of these people the attorneys have court dates and they need things. And I find though, when I get home, I be calm. But the work environment is really good though too, so it's all good. But I'm starting to get, like I said, those high felony cases that I don't like for them to pile up. I like to go ahead and knock those out. Auntie, you had a good last night with Sight. That show was so fun. I went back and looked at that show. After I got off, I was laughing so hard. I think I'm gonna have Vanessa to come on with me tomorrow night. Vanessa is so funny. Vanessa's so funny. Y'all, Cypress be scared when Vanessa is on. He be scared. The CDC talking about the new COVID. Oh Lord, they done went and created another one in China now, but swiftly coming to the US, predicting another lockdown. Oh my God. So they done made another one. Woo! Lord, you just got to get us through it. You know what? I'm getting ready to just start back. I ordered some masks off of Amazon, and I would recommend right now, you all, start stocking up on hand sanitizer. Because remember the first blackout, it was hard to find hand sanitizer, couldn't find no alcohol. Start stacking up on it. I got some boxes from when the last time, and I think I'm gonna start stocking up again on masks and on sanitizers. So I would definitely recommend you all do that. Yes. It seems like China, when they get mad at Trump, they become they we see what China doing. China, we see you, China. And here's the thing. What's going? It's another pandemic. Yes, another co to the vid. They calling it code to the vid NB181. They done gave it another name, which means that it's gonna be way more devious than the last one. And the last one was bad. And you know what? Even though they said that it originated in China, I don't think it was a whole lot of them. It's more Americans had passed away than them. Isn't that something? I always say it was definitely an attack. It was a you can't say stuff on here. It was a T attack. Okay. Y'all know what the T stand for. A T attack. Vitamin C, D, zinc, right? And it's good to, gentlemen. I want you all to, men. I want to show y'all what vitamin I want y'all to go get. As a matter of fact, I haven't did any giveaways in a long time, so that might be. And I was like, I don't know what to give away to men. Maybe I should give away vitamins. I mean, I would order them and have them sent directly to you all. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should get you a gift card. But men, y'all don't like to do right. You need to take your multivitamins. Y'all's asses is getting old. Okay, and you don't want to listen to nobody. Let me show y'all the vitamins I want y'all to take. Hold on. Hold on. Child, they know they wrong for that. Hold on 1 second, y'all. GNC is off of the chain. And I used to love to go in GNC. They've changed the color of the box. They've changed the color of the box. But I want for you all to go. I want y'all to take this every day. Okay. It'll help with your stamina too. Okay. Because some of you ain't got none. Let me show you. Get the Mega Men, but this is not anything. Get the men multivitamin. Okay. Get the one that's safe for men. It's got everything that the other multivitamin got in it. Shit. But it's got some stuff in here for your prostate. It's got all of the vitamins and minerals. That's why a multivitamin is good. It's got all of the vitamins and the minerals. Okay. James says, you got to be kidding me. I haven't heard anything about this. I'm about to look it up. Thanks for sharing. Nothing but BS happens when Donald Trump. anyways, you guys, let's see. What am I getting ready to do? I mean, it's 50 something people on here. They just in the bushes, not saying nothing. Hey, Black Money, you doing okay? I would like for the people in the bushes, some of the people in the bushes to come out of the bushes. So I would like to see the other vloggers that are in here. I don't mind some of the other vloggers coming in here. If you block, that means that means I do mind, which means we're not gonna see you. But if you're not blocked, it means I don't mind. Anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off because ain't nobody gonna come out the bushes. I did want to say hello. I would like to say hello to some of the people in the people's in the bushes. But anyways, you guys, I want to let you all know, like, because my caseload has picked up, and a lot of I know I'm gonna be working, and I knew it would happen during the summertime, and it seemed like to me, yeah, my caseload has picked up, and I got them first degree murder cases, so I know I'm gonna have to be working at home and stuff. So I'm gonna start doing quite a bit of pre-recorded videos so that I can be uploading them, until I can work some of these cases down, and which is not gonna take long. And it never does. It's not like it stresses me out. I love a challenge. Okay. I love doing what I do too, you know. And so, but once I get them worked down, because I want to concentrate on that. And so in the meantime, I'll be like uploading like more it'll give me the opportunity, like in my downtime, to focus on uploading my missing person shows and other shows too. Okay. Doing more pre-recorded shows. Anyway, y'all, I love you guys. I appreciate you all tuning in. Let me say a prayer. Dear God, I just thank you for everyone that was on this live that had good intentions. I ask that you shield and protect us all. I ask that you keep all evil people even away from this live, God. Take away the taste and the interest to even come around this live. Those that mean this channel no good, okay? Just take away the interest that they have to even peek in with evil eyes. Any evil thoughts, any evil plans of those that may have been staring in. We rebuke every evil spirit and send it back to the sender. May it manifest in their very own lives in less than 30 days. God, I just thank you for shielding and protecting the people in this live. I ask that you give them a supernatural breakthrough and blessing. Go before them, give them increase in their lives, okay? I love you guys. It has been an absolute pleasure. You all have a good night.